Alright, I'm going to talk a little bit about folding knives and why GSM is just it's terrible at this point. So, I made a review of this knife, put it on their website and everything, and not only did I have to authenticate my email and then confirm that it was the right review, and then they sent it off to be reviewed before they eventually posted the review, which I'm surprised it even went up. And then they sent me an email saying they would like to call me and talk to me about, why I was upset with this, or, if it was a bad product, whatever. And so I gave my number, and they called me. And at first, they were saying, well, we'll replace the knife. You just send in the old one, and we'll send you a new one. And I was like, I don't want another knife. Okay, I have two of these, and they both have the same problem. Neither one of them are good. I don't want another one. And then she went on to say, well, when we send you the replacement, we can also send some packaging and some shipping so you don't have to pay to ship the old one back. I was like, lady, I don't want another one, and I'm definitely not going to pay to ship the old one back to you. Like, that is, what are you talking about? And so then she told me that I could go on the website and pick something out that was around the same price range, and if it was in stock, then she would send it to me. So I go on their website, I'm looking around. Pretty much everything in that price range is Oz 10 steel, which is horrible steel. So I was like, I don't want any of this. And then you're looking at the other reviews, and there's one guy said that he kept trying to give it 1 star, but they kept removing his review, which they also removed mine. When they sent me that email, they deleted all my reviews. And so then he gave it 2 stars, and then that made it stay up because it was more than just 1 star. But he said that it was like a rattly piece of crap, like just a straight piece of junk knife. And this was a $300 knife that's built the same way as this with the same steel. The XL Espada, it's $300 somehow. And then you look at the other reviews for that knife. Most of the people who ordered them never got them. They waited like 3 months and then canceled their order because there was no plan of getting it, and customer service wouldn't respond to them, so they had no idea. They just canceled the order, like, nope. And one guy seen he was waiting like 4 or 5 months, still hadn't received his knife yet. And I don't think I ever said it about this knife. When I ordered this, it took them a good 2 weeks to ship it out, and then it took another week to get here because they sent it on like the worst shipping possible. So, and I see that a lot. A lot of people say it takes at least 3 weeks to get knives if you order it from them. So there's all that. And then we get into the price point of these things. They sell this for $130. Let me get out the new one, because they had a deal, buy one, get one free, and then I had 20% off. So these were $50 a piece. Okay? And they're super thin. They feel like they're just crap, really, and they are. But this has up and down blade play. Brand new. This has worse up and down blade play because I've used it a little bit. Okay. Here's a code 4. It has up and down blade play. And I took these apart to try to figure out why. I really don't know why these do. Here's another code 4 with up and down blade play. Every cold steel folder I have has blade play. Every one of them. Not to mention how they slap around inside here. And if you tighten it up anymore, then you can't open the stupid knife. So there's that also. But regardless, they try to, pay me off to, I don't know, get rid of my reviews or something, but you ain't getting rid of my videos, I'll tell you that much. Delete all the comments, but you ain't getting rid of my videos. And I got all these other folders here just to kind of show what you can get for the price range of these stupid things. Right, so this, I think, was about $100. They no longer make this, but this is the CRKT Ritual in 14C28N. Pretty solid blade here. Yeah, massive blade at that. This knife is $100. The Kershaw Link, I think it is. CPM 20CV, aluminum scales with liners. This knife, at first, the edge wasn't holding up very well, but I sharpened it up again and been using it, and it actually has been holding up an edge pretty good now. So, $100 for that. You got the SOG knives, which are also owned by GSM. These two are $85 a piece. Okay, I didn't buy these, I got these as a gift, but they're glass reinforced nylon handles, and they just sound like crap. This one, the stop pin is just the liner folded over, and then this little lock thing they have, all that does is prevents the lock bar from moving, because the lock bar has to move out of the way for the blade to open. Yeah, look at that. That was their flash. See how flashy that was? See how fast that was? Whoa, man, that's crazy quick. Better watch out for that. Anyway, I've never used these knives. I have no idea how they hold up. I took them apart, though, just to see how they worked. And then there's this one. I don't even know what it is. I just looked it up, too, and I forgot the name. But there's this knife. It's also D2. Also, same plasticky scales. But I want you to look at how thick the liners are on this knife. And I'm guessing that these are only that thick because they're probably like a mild steel that they cheaped out and didn't want to use a good steel for the liner. So they used it just really thick. Because if you look at this one, the liners are like half as thick. Right? And you had to use a good or better steel to do the stop pin like that. Otherwise, the blade would destroy that. So I'm guessing these are like mild steel liners, and that's why they're so thick. And then this is the little bar. Seems to work all right, but I think that opens faster than this did. And this thing sucks to open. This little thumb stud hurts your thumb so much. Whoa, super quick there. Right. Okay. This knife here was also $90. CJRB Pyrite in S90V aluminum scales, polished pocket clip and whatnot. Super solid little knife. Super fidgety. Opens faster than both those other ones did. But yeah, you want a real nice little knife? This one right here. This one right here will do it for you. And like I said, this is $40 cheaper than this. Keep that in mind. Here's a penguin. I think this was like $60 when I got it. S35VN, micarta, polished liners, good polished standoffs and whatnot. $60. This is a $20 knife. This buck, just plastic scales, 428C blade. This holds better edge than this, by far. Okay, not sure how much this one cost, but it's a pretty cool looking one. I don't think it's that expensive, but again, something in the price range, you know. You got these Civivis. I don't know how much some of these are, but I think they're like 50-60 bucks or something. I think this one's micarta, and they're normally like 9 CR steel or something. This one I think is D2 with copper liner or copper scales. But these are all within like the same price range or cheaper. Like this one here, this is the Civivi budget line. It has the plastic scales like this does, right? And this is $85 knife, and then it's built pretty much the same way as this, except for it has liners, right? I think this is like only like 20-30 bucks or something. Like that one's not very expensive. It's monster. I'm not sure if these are the same plastic or if this is G10 or not, but you know, you got some Milwaukee knives. These actually feel more solid. I don't know if they're aluminum or what, but they're kind of funky. This one you got to push the button to open it, and then use the liner lock to close it. But these hold an edge about as good as these do. Right? Here's another one. Yeah, that one flicked open faster than that SOG did. Okay. Here's this knife. This is like a $100 knife. CTS XHP Spartan blades. Some pretty good liners in there. Nothing fancy to it. Just liner lock. Real solid G10. They make a newer version of this in 154 cm. I'd rather have the XHP steel, but you know, real solid blade. This is way better than this, and it's cheaper. Right? And then, you know, you got like this Emerson Kershaw here. This is another budget blade that feels a lot more solid than these other ones. This Kaiser here was like 50-60 bucks. 154 cm. It's one of the cancer ones, and these are all polished inside. All polished liners and standoffs, anodized, for half the price of one of these. You know what I mean? Here's another $60 knife, the Kaiser Manganus. This one's an N690. And I've used this knife. I really like this one. It's all polished liners and everything in there too. All just real nice, you know. And then you got that. You get like, you know, where you can barely even open the damn thing for $25 more. Here's a Kaiser Sheepdog 10V. This doesn't even have bearings or anything. See, and it is incredibly smooth. Incredibly smooth. This I think was $60 too. Here's a $50 Kaiser. This was Kaiser and Concept, and it's also 3V with all G10. Has liners. $50. Okay. Not sure how much this petrified fish cost, but I don't think it was too much. Anodized liners and everything, D2. Way nicer. Okay, this little Fox knife here. This is a stout little sucker. But just to give you kind of just examples of different price ranges and stuff here as well. Here's this Microtech SOCOM Bravo. And this one, if you have any kind of pressure on this at all, the detent ball will like prevent you from opening the blade. So you have to be careful to not put your index finger on there and try to open it, and it'll open just fine. This one, I think I got for like a couple $100. It was on sale. Here's this knife I paid $135 for. Same price as this. This is S45 VN. Full flat ground. It has the liners inside there with their compression lock and everything. In G10, camo G10. This was the same price as this. And this blows this out of the water. Like, it's not even close. Nowhere close. This one. This is a Kaiser. Forget the name of it. Oh, the Begletter Mini. Okay, this is in CPM 20 CV with titanium, with frag milled titanium. And it still has liners and liner lock. This, I think, was like $120. So cheaper. With titanium and CPM 20 CV. And just a super snappy little blade. Okay, this I think was like $100. The Kaiser flip shank. I think it's S35VN with titanium and G10. So yeah, all these are within like the same price range. Then you get to a couple more expensive ones here. This is the Giant Mouse Ace. This is like $180. This is M390 in brass with liners inside the brass, like recessed in there. This is a pretty nice little knife right here. My Viper Fortis. This thing, super. It's got ball bearings. It is super duper smooth. It's cold this morning, so and I just greased it up, so it's a little stiff just because the grease in there. But it is like silky smooth. I tried to polish up the titanium the other day. This was like $200 when I got it. It's more than that now, but this was like $200. M390. It's like 3/16 thick. All titanium. It has the inserts so that it doesn't mar the titanium on the blade. Just, real nice. This is another Viper knife for around the same price, about $200. It's got, the anodized back spacers and everything too. This is the Katla M390. Everything. So, again, I know these knives are more expensive, but it kind of shows you that, they do sell the XL Espada built like this, the G10 with the Oz 10, and they sell it for $300. So $100 more than these real nice titanium ones and stuff. $100 more for a junk steel. Like, I even seen 4116 blades on there for like $200-300. Who is buying these? That's what I want to know. I don't think a lot of people are, because they keep doing 20% off sales and buy one get one free and flash sale, buy this real quick, blah blah. But when your knives are $600-700, 20% off, you're still over $400 for the damn knife with a rubber handle and a damn sheath that dulls the blade. Doesn't make any sense. Not to mention, I've seen reviews of people saying the 3V doesn't hold an edge anymore. Like their old 3V did, but now the new stuff doesn't. I know the S35VN on these Code 4s is soft, and it just doesn't hold an edge. I don't know about these other ones here. The Oz 10 sucks. Doesn't hold an edge at all. And like, most of these knives here are less than half the cost of one of those. There's no comparison here. GSM is just, they're trying to play off the Cold Steel name. That's all they're doing. They cheaped out on the manufacturing process as much as they could. They cut costs in every single corner. Like, the steel, the build quality, the materials, everything. They just downgraded and then doubled and tripled the prices of their knives. Just because it's Cold Steel and they had a good name, and now they don't. Because people have been getting screwed left and right, and they keep deleting the reviews so people don't see them. They send these other big YouTubers free knives to promote them, and these YouTubers won't say anything bad about them. Just pump out garbage so you'll buy it, so they can get more free knives sent to them. And people believe it. And they buy the knives and they get screwed. And that's why I've been buying cold steel knives and showing people just how bad they are. Like the Walmart knives. I seen the one dude chopping away, batoning, cutting stuff up, and all this. Knife held up to everything. Didn't even dull. Right? This is a $10 bushcraft knife. He's like, oh, this thing is amazing. You can do anything with this. Blah, blah, blah. I got him. I chopped a piece of wood and it rolled. Like, it didn't just roll. It folded and, like, split the edge. And, like, dude, this was on, like, a piece of pine. It just completely destroyed it. Like, what was this other dude talking about? Batoning and chopping and everything with it. They're just full of crap. All of them. They're there to try to make the product look as good as possible to sell it. And that's all they do. And that's it. They are not honest with you about any of the stuff. And you try to go look at the reviews, but all the negative stuff they've just been deleting. So you have nothing but 5-star reviews that are all saying that every single knife is the most amazing thing on the face of the planet, even though the people who buy them never use them. They just bought them because they liked the way it looked, and it's the most amazing thing on the planet, and you need to buy one immediately. And you're just like, are these even real reviews? Like, are they just pumping in AI reviews like everybody else is doing at this point? It just is nuts, man. But that's why I make these videos, because they can't take these videos down. I can show the world just how crap you really are with your slappy blades. Every single one of them. Well, that Tondo's actually got a little tighter in there. That one's not. You know, you get it. And this, I mean, it's D2 with FRN for $85. You know what I mean? Like, I get SOG had a decent name before, or a pretty good name, but they're just playing off the names at this point. You go on the SOG website, and most of the stuff they have on there now just looks like nothing but gas station knives. And there's like 20 different versions of every knife because they gotta have different little colors on every single part of it. And it's just trying to distract you from the fact that it's a crap knife. You know? I'm sure, you know, some of their high-end knives are probably pretty nice. But when they're $300-$400 for a folder to have a half-decent steel and some G10, who wants to pay that? Even if you are like a die-hard fan to where you will buy any of this stuff, why would you pay that much for it? Like, it just blows me away. Especially when there's so much better quality for a lot less price, you know? Like, you just get one of these Spartan blades. If you want a really solid folder, like, they have 2 different versions of this. They have one that's a little bit thinner blade and whatnot. But this thing is so nice. You know, the same, it's like a little bit cheaper than that. A little bit cheaper than the Verdict, right? Pretty much about the same blade length. You know, I ground this one down, so it might have lost a little bit of length, but pretty much same blade length. Way better steel on this. Way better. You know, the G10's twice as thick, plus it has a liner on the one side. So, you know, I refuse to buy any more cold steel or SOG anything, because just GSM has just ruined it. They truly have. It's sad to see such good companies get bought out and then can't even compete with these Chinese companies, you know? And they're made in China, in Taiwan. Like, they're not made in America or anything. There's no reason their prices should be any higher than any of these other ones. But yet, you know, I guess that name carries some value. But not anymore, not to me. just that's my rant about it, and mainly because of that phone call about them trying to, give me another free knife to make up for it somehow. It's like I don't want another piece of junk knife that I'm not gonna use and is just gonna sit around. And the lady on the phone didn't even know what to think when I said that. She just went silent for a few seconds, like, yeah, lady. I don't care about your knives. I don't care that I wasted my money on this. Even though, it sucks that I wasted my money. But it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. I'm going to show everybody just how bad it is. And if you've seen the videos on this knife, you know it is terrible. I made a railroad spike knife. And those have like a max HRC of 50. It had the same edge retention as this. So, a super soft piece of metal that's not even meant for a knife still works as a better knife than that Oz 10 does. Anyway, so I guess that's going to conclude my ramblings about everything. And just look around. Like, I know a lot of people are like, they really like that company and everything, but at this point, since GSM took over, just shop around. Like, Kaiser makes real nice stuff. You can get some decent stuff from Kershaw, Spartan Blades, Spyderco, anything, really. Viper Knives makes a lot of other stuff besides this. This is just their, like, more premium ones. You can get, real nice knives for half the cost of that. But, it is what it is, I guess. As long as people buy the cold steel and buy the SOGs, they're just going to keep making them, pumping them out. But when you have $20 literal gas station knife that outperforms your $130 knife, what do you got to say about that? And they won't say anything. They'll just ignore you. Because I sent them an email back after they said, pick out a knife. I told them, I was like, you can send me like a Recon 1 in MagnaCut or the Recon 1 XL and XHP so I could see if that's any better than your Oz 10 or S35 VN. And then I went on a whole rant about how crap they are, and they never responded to that. But a lot of people say that they just will not respond to them either. So, and they can't get their knives fixed or replaced or anything when they actually have issues because the people won't respond. So, it is what it is. They're no longer in California either, I don't think. They're in Texas now. Or they say they're in Texas. Sounds like they're in India. And, yeah, just watch out, guys. Don't get ripped off. Don't get some overpriced knife. Like, if you want one of these knives, like you really want one, wait till they're on sale. Get it for like half price or something, Don't pay full price. They're not worth it. Not at all. Alright. That's going to conclude my ramblings. Y'all have a good one.